Hari Om. Let us start. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshal, Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinayanaamanikya Spura Taranayaka Shekaram Smitamukhim Abhinav Shoruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Jashakam Rattotpalam Bipratim Saumyam Ratnagadastharakta Charanam Dhyayet Param Ambikam ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्तां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्राय दाक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसत् हेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्ददिदेक्षणां सदर्जापवाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीं मरुणमाल्यभूषोज्ज्वलां जपाकुसुममासुरां जपविदौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतवाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिविरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येव विभावये महेशीम् ॐ पराशक्ति नमः ॐ पराशक्ति नमः ॐ पराशक्ति नमः. So today we are going to attempt to go from 266 till 280. Let us start. Om Goptre Namaha, Om Govindarupinye Namaha, Om Samharinye Namaha, Om Rudrarupaye Namaha, Om Tirodhanagarye Namaha, Om Ishwarye Namaha, Om Sadashivaye Namaha, Om Anugrahadaye Namaha, Om Panchakrityaparayanaya Namaha, Om Bhanumandalamadhyasthaye Namaha, Om Bhairavye Namaha, Om Bhagamalinye Namaha, Om Padmasanaye Namaha, Om Bhagavatye Namaha, Om Padmanabhasahodarye Namaha. So the earlier names of Devi, which is 256 to 263, we did a very complex subject, which is the different states of the jiva, especially the state of the Jagrit, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiya and Turiyatita. So this is what we did in the last class. I'm pretty sure that was a little abstract and tough. So now going up from here, from 264 we did Srishtikatri and Brahma Rupa. These were the two names we did. So this is from here onwards we're going to talk about the different states of Ishvara. So we talked of Jiva. We're going to talk of the states of Ishvara, the 5 states of Ishvara. So if you remember, Brahma appears when Ishvara is in the Rajasic form. In the Rajasic form, and in the Tamasic form, it is Rudra. And in the Sattvic form, it is Vishnu. These are the ways in which Ishvara manifests, the three different forms in which Ishvara manifests. There are further forms also which we will come to understand. So the first name is Om Goptri, Goptrai Namaha. We're talking of Devi's names. Okay. Now, obviously, the connection between Devi and Ishvara will be coming along, because let us not forget that Ishvara's Shakti is Ishvara's strength comes from Shakti. So, Goptri. What does Goptri mean? There are several meanings to the word. One is, when you look at the root of the word, one meaning is Gup. Gup means to protect or guard. To protect or guard. That is one of the meanings. So, Goptra means the person. The person, and this Goptra is the masculine aspect of the word, the person who protects or guards. So, if you look at the feminine aspect, it becomes Goptri. Goptri basically refers to the feminine person who protects or guards. So, that is the meaning of the word she who protects. That is the absolute meaning of Goptri. So, what this means is Devi is Vishnu. Devi is referred to as Vishnu, where the Sattvic quality predominates. She is Vishnu who where Sattvic quality predominates. And preservation is the task. When Sattvic quality is involved, at that time, preservation is the task that happens. Now, there is another meaning of Goptri, which is drawn from the word Gupta. Gupta means hidden. Gupta, so they say Gupta Gyan, hidden Gyan. Like, in fact, this Lalitha Sahasranamam in itself was a Gupta Gyan, completely Gupta Gyan, and it was meant only for the elite class. It was not open to all people to learn. And one of the first people to actually make this, the knowledge of Lalitha Sahasranamam public, was Mata Amritandamayi. She was one of the first people who decided to get this knowledge out, and which is why, if you go to the earlier generations of people, not many people knew the Lalitha Sahasranamam. Now, virtually everyone who follows Sanatana Dharma in Kerala, who follows Sanatana Dharma, not born as a Hindu, but who follows Sanatana Dharma and practice Sanatana Dharma, can learn and is taught Lalitha Sahasranamam. So, the Gupta Gyan nature of Lalitha Sahasranamam is no longer there now. Yeah. However, inside the Lalitha Sahasranamam, let's not forget that mantras like the Shodashakshari mantra, all those mantras are still Gupta. They are not given out as giveaways. You have to be initiated, you have to go through the process, only then you will be able to get into this. Yeah. So, so Devi is Mahamaya. Devi is Mahamaya, and she is the person who hides the real essence of the universe. Yeah. And she creates illusion, because she is Maya. She creates illusion, and she is not just Maya, she is Mahamaya. So, she creates illusion, and she always remains hidden. That is why that word Gupta comes into play. So, she is called as Goptri, she who protects. That is the basic meaning. 267. Govinda Rupini. Om Govinda Rupinyai Namaha. So, she who has assumed the form of Govinda, Vishnu, for the preservation of the universe. Govinda Rupini. Govinda Rupini, what Govinda means. Yeah. So, that word Govinda again has several meanings. You talk one word, one meaning of go is, go refers to the meaning is Vachan. Vachan is the word. Yeah. So, Govinda is a person who is known through the Vedas, and the Divine Mother is the source and protector of sacred knowledge by this form called as Govinda. She is the source and protector of this sacred knowledge. Which is the sacred knowledge? Sri Vidya. She is the source and the protector of this sacred knowledge, and because of the fact that she is known as Govinda, by virtue of the words, she protects those words, because that word Vinda means protect. So Govinda means protect. It's got other meanings also. It's got a meaning, go refers to cow, go refers to earth, go refers to words. We covered the word aspect now. It refers to intelligence. So several meanings of the word Govinda, go as part of the Govinda. Yeah. Now, if you take the meaning earth, suppose if go refers to the meaning earth, then we know what happened during in the Puranas, where Hiranyaksha stole the earth. Hiranyaksha stole the earth, and then Mahavishnu recovered the earth by taking the avatara of Varaha. Taking the Varaha avatara, he brought the earth back up. Yeah. So Devi is the protector of that earth, and therefore she is called as Govinda. Yeah. There is another aspect also of in this, which is the motherly instinct. She is Shri Mata working through Mahavishnu. She is Shri Mata working through Mahavishnu, and therefore Mahavishnu brings out assumes the form of Varaha and brings up the earth, and therefore she is right works as the Shakti working through Mahavishnu. So that is another meaning of Govinda. Yeah? Govinda Rupini. So we have covered the aspect of Vishnu, which is a sattvic aspect, which is Goptri, and the manifestation aspect, which is Govinda Rupini. Now we are looking at the attribute which is of Shiva, which is Samharini. Om Samharinyai Namaha. She who is the destroyer of the universe. She who is the destroyer of the universe. Where Rudra comes in, Ishvara, in the when tamasic quality predominates, that is when the destruction of the universe happens. Sometimes they call this mantra as Samdharini. Sandharini is the meaning is different. The meaning of Sandharini is different, where it means she is a person who actually bears the universe. No, that is not what this means here. It is Samharini. So it is called as Samharini. So she is the person who is the destroyer of the universe. The next one is the manifestation. What is the manifestation? Rudra Rupa. Om Rudra Rupayai Namaha. So what is the meaning of the word Rudra? Rudra has several meanings. One meaning is the person who roars or howls. So that is one meaning of Rudra. Another meaning is Rudra as a person who makes us cry, who makes us weep. That is another meaning of Rudra. A third meaning is one who eradicates problems right from its roots. Right from its roots. That is another meaning, the third meaning of the word Rudra. So, she who has assumed the form of Rudra for the dissolution of the universe. Rudra Rupayai Namaha. So, in this, the tamasic quality of Ishvara comes into play. Rudra means one who weeps. So, when the dissolution happens, they say that the torrential rain happens at the time of Pralaya, the Mahapralaya, when the dissolution happens, and that is supposed to be the rain coming from the flow of tears from Shiva's solar eyes. From Shiva's solar eyes. Shiva has got three eyes. The right eye is the solar eye, the left eye is the moon eye, and the central eye is the fire eye. So these are the three eyes that Shiva has. So through the solar eye, when the dissolution happens, the tears, the copious tears that happens when Rudra weeps, that is what causes the torrential rain during this Mahapralaya, the condition called as Mahapralaya. Now, we talked of the another meaning of Rudra, which is one who eradicates problems from its roots. Now, the Rudra, that word is can also mean one who drives away dra, pain, one who drives away pain and sorrow. Ru means sorrow, dra means pain. Ru means sorrow and dra means pain. So, Rudra is one who drives away pain and sorrow, or who eradicates problems from the root. Now, if you look at the human life has got pain, it's got sorrow, it's got ups, it's got downs. Similarly, flower, as you look at the blossoming of flowers, depending on the sunrise and the sunset, the flower blossoms and closes down. And depending on the moon rise and the moon setting of the moon, you have the waves moving up and down. And depending on the on the seasons, the fruits ripen and fall. Depending on what's happening in the planetary alignment, we have good times, we have bad times. All these things happen. But Devi has the power to ward off all these effects and protects her devotees. So she is called as Rudra Rupini. She is called as Rudra Rupini. So complete faith in Devi will make you completely insulated from any problems that are there due to your planetary misalignments, due to your problems in life. All these will disappear if you completely surrender to Devi. That is something that we should all keep in mind. So the Devi Bhagavata says she creates the universe according to her will. She protects the universe. At the time of dissolution, she destroys it. She causes illusion in the universe and acts in all three ways. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva perform their tasks of creation, protection and destruction because of her blessing, Devi's blessing. She has bound the entire universe with the bonds of I and mind. And who are the people who are free? The only people who are free are the yogins, the realized souls. Why are they free? Because they are beyond this attachment, and the only thing that matters to them is liberation. How do they achieve liberation? By worshipping Devi. And who's Devi? Devi is Shiva, and she is the mistress of the universe. So this is the most beautiful explanation of Rudra Rupa, where she is right at the top, the entire force which is responsible for dissolution. The next name is Tirodhanakari. Om Tirodhanakaryai Namaha. Tirodhana is a word used in Malayalam also. The Malayalis here will recognize that word. Tirodhanam basically means finishing of the person. Yeah. Tirodhana means concealment, vanishing, hiding, or destruction. Destruction of people, of people or things or whatever. She who causes the disappearance of all things. Who's that? Devi. So this is the complete destruction of everything, the dissolution of the minutest particles into Prakriti, as in the extinction of light causing complete darkness. When the light is switched off and there is complete darkness, that is the state which Devi brings us to at the time of dissolution. Yeah. So there is another meaning or another Shakti of Devi called as Tiraskarini. And the study of that or the learning of that is called as Tiraskarini Vidya. Tiraskarini is one who makes things disappear. So that Shakti is also Devi's Shakti. So you say, what is mentioned is that Devi, you cause the disappearance of all but your devotees. Meaning, as far as Devi is concerned, everybody else goes into oblivion. She's not bothered about anybody else. The only person she is bothered about is her devotees who surrender to Devi. So if you surrender to Devi, be sure that she will take care of you. Be sure, be 100% sure that she is going to take complete care of you. So she'll cause the disappearance of every other thing except that of her devotee. So therefore, you are called as Tiraskarini. So she's got the power known as Tiraskarini Vidya. In fact, what that means is that no one is hidden from Devi. No one is hidden from Devi. Devi, people can see Devi, but not many people can see her true form. To see her true form, you should become a realized soul. You should become another Shiva. Yeah. So what this also means is that once this Vidya is learnt, once this Vidya of Tiraskarini Vidya is learnt, then that person can also become invisible. And there's a mention of this in Mahabharata, where Nala, King Nala, was able to enter into the chamber of Damayanti. How? By becoming invisible. And how did he become invisible? By means of learning the Tiraskarini Vidya. And who taught him? It was Indra. Indra, who taught him this Vidya of becoming invisible. So, Tirodhana Karye, that is what this refers to. Next one, Ishwari. Om Ishwaryai Namaha. The literal meaning is she who protects and rules everything. This word Ishwari appears in several names as addendums to several names of Devi. It has appeared before. Srimat Simhasaneshwari. It has appeared before. Srimat Simhasaneshwari, Maheshwari, Parameshwari. These are all the names of Devi, which we will keep coming. We have not come across some of these names, but there are much more names where the word Ishwari keeps getting repeated. Now, Devi is not a passive observer. She is a dynamic manager of cosmic and individual consciousness. She is the dynamic manager. She is always moving from that perspective of managing the cosmic consciousness and managing individual consciousness. Individual consciousness is the Atman, and the world consciousness is there, which is in the form of Parashakti. Now, Ishvara and Ishwari are the same, and all the descriptions apply to Devi. Ishwari is the female form of Ishvara. It's the female form of Ishvara, and all these descriptions, she is the lordship, she is the doership, she is independence, she is consciousness, and all these aspects refer to Devi. All these aspects refer to Devi. Now, the individual consciousness is Jiva. Individual consciousness is your Jiva, your prana, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So, Ishvara is conscious. The individual consciousness, how is it controlled? Individual consciousness is controlled by one's mind or ego. Each individual's consciousness is controlled by one's mind or ego. Ishvara controls the consciousness of the universe. Ishvara controls the consciousness of the universe. And by calling Devi as Ishwari, because Ishvara and Ishwari are the same, this implies that Devi is consciousness as conditioned by the universe, and Jiva is also controlled by Devi. So everything boils down to Devi being in complete control of the universe. She is the person because of whom the universe ticks, the universe works. Sadashivayai Namaha. Om Sadashivayai Namaha. She who is Sadashiva, one who always bestows auspiciousness. Sadashiva is also a form of Lord Shiva. We have the tamasic form of Lord Shiva, which is Rudra Rupa. The sattvic form of Lord Shiva is Sadashiva. The sattvic form of Lord Shiva is Sadashiva. And Devi is not separated from Shiva. Devi is also part of Shiva. So therefore, Devi, who is not separate from him, is part of Lord Shiva, in whom superlative pure sattva quality dominates. When the sattvic nature dominates, that is when Lord Shiva or Ishvara becomes Sadashiva. 273. Anugrahada. Om Anugrahadayai Namaha. Now, Anugrahada, the meaning of that word Anu means following, Graha, seizing or attracting, and Da means giving. Yeah. So, Anugrahada means a person who is a granter of boons, somebody who is granting boons. Devi is pleased with all the devotees for the love that these devotees have for her, and she holds them in her grace, in her embrace. So when you have so much love for Devi, and you're able to express that love for Devi in as many words as possible, please do so. Please do so. Please don't pull back and say, no, I don't want to do it. Please express your love as much as possible for Devi. And you'll find that when you express your love for Devi, Devi in turn holds you close to her, holds you completely close to her. What is this state called as Anugrahada, or the process? So we have gone through the state of dissolution. After dissolution, there is another state which is the annihilation state. Anugrahada is when recreation starts. After complete dissolution, pralaya, everything is done. When Anugrahada state is the process, after complete dissolution, the primordial aspects of life start manifesting. So the start of when fresh creation is going to happen. When fresh creation is going to happen, that is when this state called as Anugrahata happens. So, in this case, what Devi does is she dispels the mundane. Whenever all these mundane aspects of life, she dispels it. She removes all hardships of worldly existence and showers blessings to uplift the soul. So she is preparing the grounds. Dissolution is done. First creation, then preservation, then dissolution, and then annihilation, and then recreation, which is Anugrahada. So she prepares the world for the next cycle of creation, the next cycle of preservation, dissolution. So this is a constant cycle, and she achieves the cycle of all these things through the forms of Shiva, Vishnu, Rudra, Sadashiva. That is what she does. Anugrahada. Panchakritya Parayanaye Namaha. Panchakritya Parayanaye. What are these Panchakritya? Pancha means 5. Kritya means actions or functions. She who is devoted to the 5 functions. Now, we know the normal 3 functions. What are the 3 functions? Creation, preservation, and dissolution. Yeah. Now, in order to ensure that the dissolution is complete, there is a 4th function which is called as annihilation, where in annihilation or tirodhana, annihilation is what is tirodhana, complete destruction. And after complete destruction, next one is Anugrahada. Next state is Anugraha, causing the reappearance of the universe. Now, if you look at the Brahma Sutra, Ishvara has 3 functions. Brahma Sutra talks of 3 functions. What are the 3 functions? Creation, preservation, and destruction. But if you look at tradition of Shaiva Dvaita, then you are talking of the 5 functions, which is the functions we talked about, which is the functions of creation, preservation, destruction, annihilation, which is tirodhana, and causing the reappearance. Parashakti, who is identical with Supreme Shiva, as Brahma performs creation, as Vishnu does the preservation, as Rudra destruction, as Ishvara dissolution, and as Sadashiva. Sadashiva is the sattvic form. Sadashiva, she does the blessing of recreation. Now, if that is the Shaivite tradition, now what if we look at the Vaishnavite tradition? In the Vaishnavite tradition, we have Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Narayana. These are the similar functions that are done by creation, preservation, destruction, annihilation, Tirodhana, and Anugraha are done in a Vaishnavite tradition also as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Narayana. The next one is Bhanumandala Madhyastha. Bhanumandala Madhyastha. The stress is on Bha, not Bhanu. Bhanumandala Madhyastha. Now, Bhanumandala is the solar disk, that circle, the circle which represents the sun, and this is called she who abides at the center of the Bhanumandala. Bhanumandala Madhyastha. She is in the center of the Bhanumandala. She is the energy. She is the energy for the sun also. Devi is the energy for the sun as well. At dusk, when the sun is setting, we have to focus and meditate on Devi. And where is Devi sitting? She is sitting at the center of the solar disk. And where is the solar disk? The solar disk is in the center of your Anahata chakra. Where is your Anahata chakra? That is your heart chakra. Who is actually sitting at the center of the solar disk? Mahadeva. Mahadeva is sitting there, and Devi joins him there at this center of the solar disk. Bhanumandala Madhyastha. When? At dusk. So that is a time when you should focus on Devi in the base and at the Bhanumandala Madhyastha. Devi resides at this place. 276. Bhairavyai Namaha. Om Bhairavyai Namaha. Who is Bhairava? Bhairava is Shiva. Where is Bhairava? Bhairava is in the Smashana. Bhairava is in the cremation ground. What is his role? We know what his role is. Yeah. So what he does, what does Bhairavi do? Bhairavi oversees the cycle of creation, preservation, and dissolution. Yeah. She is the wife of Bhairava. She is the wife of Bhairava. Yeah. She is the terrifier of the wicked and fiercely protecting mother. Bhairavi is the terrifier of the wicked and fiercely protecting mother. And she is Kalatita. She is beyond time. She transcends all worldly attachments and represents consciousness. She goes beyond all worldly attachments. See, why is Shiva in the cremation ground? Because he has no likes or dislikes. He is completely detached. So when you are, it is symbolic, because when you are at a cremation ground, what is there for you? What do you have? You don't have anything. You're a jatha. You're a chida. That is all you are. That is your state out there. There is nothing you can claim that belongs to you. So Shiva, the only thing that Shiva wants is that bhasma that comes, the ash that comes when you burn the bodies. That is all that Shiva wants, and he applies it all over him. He's Bhairava. Yeah. So that is what he has, and that is what he wants. That is all he wants. So he doesn't have any worldly needs. He doesn't have any worldly needs. That is what is referred to as Bhairava, person who is completely detached. And Devi is also like, she is beyond all worldly attachments. Bhagamalinyai Namaha. Bhagamalini. Now, Bhaga refers to the 6 attributes. Malini refers to the garland of 6 of the attributes that she wears. What are these attributes? There are several versions of these attributes, several ways in which this is put across. One of the 6 attributes is excellence, auspiciousness, supremacy, fame, valor, detachment, and knowledge. One list of 6. Now, depending on the source, this will change. They will say that no, this is not what we talked about. The next 6 is supremacy, righteousness, fame, prosperity, knowledge, and wisdom. That is another 6. Now, what is there? The good thing about our Sanatana Dharma is we can keep on arguing. We can keep on arguing. In Sanatana Dharma, we can keep on arguing because there is an interpretation aspect. There is in fact a science for this called as Tarka Shastra. There is a science for this called as Tarka Shastra, where you are taught how to argue. You are taught how to argue on the basis of facts. So don't just simply argue on the basis of facts. That is called as Tarka Shastra. So the Acharya says the science of logic is inconclusive. Vedas differ from each other. So one Veda will say this, some Veda will say no, exactly opposite it will say. Yeah, not a single sage whose word is considered to be as an authority. Nobody can say that what I am saying is supreme. No, because what is being said can be contributed. Good thing we have something called as Tarka Shastra. Yeah. So the essence of dharma is hidden in the cave of the heart. And what do good souls do? They go by what their heart says. You go by what your heart says. If you feel that this is the right path, take that path. Take that path. Don't stand back, sit and argue with that fellow. You got better work to do. Go and take that path, follow that path. That will give you better joy rather than taking up something and going for an argument and then finding that it's just a waste of your energy. That is the most important thing. You're losing your energy. So, Bhaga, there is a further meaning. You're talking of sovereignty, fame, justice, accomplishment of desire, wisdom, greatness, humility, effort, the womb, worldly concerns, peace. So many meanings of that one word, Bhaga. So all these words refer to the descriptions of Devi and they form flowers of the garland, and that's why she is called as Bhagamalini. Bhagamalini. Devi is worshipped by a garland of praise. 278. Padmasanaye Namaha. Padmasanaye Namaha. Again, there are several meanings. So, Padmasanaye Namaha, what this means is, the literal meaning is, she who is seated in a lotus flower. It is simple. She who is seated in a lotus flower. Now, one more meaning is that she is in the form of Brahman. She is in the form of Brahman. So, in this, the petals of the lotus are like Prakriti. The filaments are conditions of time and place. The stalk is knowledge and the stamen is vasanas. Devi has made such a lotus her seat. She is sitting on such a lotus. She is sitting on Prakriti with all these things around her. She is one who is seated in the lotus. And if you really want to meditate on Devi, what you should be doing is you should also be seated in the lotus posture. So if you want to learn about Devi, you can't put your feet up. You can't put your feet up and say, okay, come on, sollu pa paakalam. It doesn't work like that. You have to have that humility, and that is the only way that when you sit. I've always spoken about this posture. Posture is so important because Devi is the life force, which is your Kundalini. If it has got to move, your back has got to be straight. You can't sit like this. This is not the way you sit and listen to Devi. Sit straight. Sit absolutely straight, because your Meru Dhanda, your spine has got to be straight. Only then your energy will rise. And we spoke about the concept of a snake and ladder and this and that. We have covered all these things, right? But remember, if for us you're going to be learning about Devi, you're going to be meditating on Devi's form. Devi herself is sitting in Padmasana. We also have to sit in Padmasana if we need to imbibe Devi within us. Devi or Padma is referred to as Bindu. Bindu, what is Bindu? If you look at the Sri Chakra, right at the center, you have the dot which is called as Bindu. Devi is seated in this posture, in this position which is called as the Bindu. There is another meaning of Padmasana. San means to distribute. Padma refers to Lakshmi. Padma refers to Lakshmi. So Devi is Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and she distributes this wealth. To whom? She distributes wealth to those who experience Devi, who dedicate themselves to a life of Devi's Upasana. Devi Upasana. And suppose you stop that Upasana and you go against Devi, what happens? You lose the prosperity, the wife deserts him, and he becomes supremely unhappy. Your happiness is gone. When you follow Devi and you get the blessings from Devi, everything happens automatically in life. There is a last interpretation. Padmasana refers to the killing of the demon Padmasura. Padmasura. That is also referred to in this word Padmasana. 279. Om Bhagavatyai Namaha. In Bhagavatyai Namaha, there are two versions, two aspects. One is she is the female form of Bhagavan. Female form of Bhagavan is Bhagavati. Bhagavati. Another interpretation, another meaning is we just covered the name Bhaga, Malini. Bhaga. Bhaga is the supreme qualities which we refer to. Words that describe several aspects of Devi. So the key attributes of Devi referred to, and she is the person, the supreme goddess who has these attributes. So there is another interpretation. The word Bhaga comes from the root called as Bhaj, and Bhaj means to worship, and Avati means to protect. This is another interpretation. And Devi is called Bhagavati as she is worshipped by all devas, and because of the worship, she blesses those people. Those from Kerala here, if you go to our temples in Kerala, you will note that temples, the Devi temples in Kerala, are all called as Bhagavatis. The Devi is called as Bhagavati. Very rarely you will find it as other than Devi, other than Bhagavati. Most temples are called as, so Chotanikara Devi she is there, but Chotanikara Bhagavati is also, she is referred to as Chotanikara Bhagavati. Yeah. So the Bhagavati form is predominantly seen in Kerala. Another aspect is that if you see all the temples in Kerala, I can't say all most of the temples, 95% of the temples in Kerala are set up according to tantric traditions. And because they are set up according to tantric traditions, what this means is that there are several aspects. So whoever, you can't just walk into a temple, go into the Garbhagriha and go and touch the idol. No, it's not possible. Because there is a pratishtha swarupam that is there. You will have to stay there. There is a person who is ordained to do the task, who is the Nambudiri or whoever it is who's been trained in those tasks, and he goes into the temple, and he is the only person who is allowed to touch the deity and do the puja. If you go to the north of the Vindhyas, you can do everything yourself. We were in where is that? Chardamla, Kedarnath. We were in Kedarnath, and when we went to,
it was 2:30.
Yeah, it was 2:30 in the morning when we are getting our darshan, and we went there and we poured did all the arati and everything ourselves. Now we are quite happy to do it because we never get this chance to do it in temples in Kerala. Never. You'll never get the chance to do it in temples in Kerala. We did not get a chance to do it in Badrinath, because in Badrinath, again, these tantric traditions are still followed. Out of the Chardham temples, which is the Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath, and Badrinath, Badrinath is the only temple where the tantric traditions are still followed. Kedarnath is gone, Yamunotri is gone, Gangotri gone. You can't find any of these traditions there. People do whatever they want. They touch this, that, you do your own thing, everything happens. Unfortunate, because there it is overrun. It is not that the tantric traditions were not there. Tantric traditions were there, and Shankaracharya set up all these. Adi Shankara set up all these temples right across, starting from Gangotri, from Yamunotri, going all the way up to Kedarnath and down to Badrinath. He did set it up in tantric tradition as per what is done in Kerala. But unfortunately, over time, all this has been lost. The last name of Devi for today, Padmanabha Sahodaryai Namaha. Padmanabha Sahodaryai Namaha. She who is Vishnu's sister, Sahodaryai Namaha. Now, Vishnu's sister, one of the Vishnu's sister is Maya Devi. Maya Devi. Maya Devi was the person who was born in the womb of Yashoda Maya. And what was her role? Her role was to protect Lord Krishna. Yeah. So we know that story. She slipped from Kansa's hand and she escaped. She disappeared into the skies. Yeah. In the Kurma Purana, there is a talk of one Brahman. One Brahman. This one Brahman divided and took two separate forms. One form is the attribute, which is called as Dharma, and the other form is the possessor of attributes, which is Dharmi. Dharma and Dharmi. Dharma was further split into male and female forms. The male form is Lord Vishnu. Male form is Lord Vishnu, which is the material cause of the universe, and the female form became the spouse of Paramashiva. Became the spouse of Paramashiva. In short, Shiva, Vishnu and Devi together are known as Brahman. Shiva, Vishnu and Devi are called as Brahman. Now, if you look at this name, Padmanabha Sahodari. Padmanabha Sahodari. It's got Ma, Padma, Ma, Nabha, Ha, Sahodari, Ra. It's got Ra. So it's got Ma, Ha and Ra. Three sounds are there. And these sounds of this name of Devi are called as the Bijaksharas of the Vagbhava Kutaika. You remember Vagbhava Kuta? Vagbhava Kuta, there is an 85th mantra which is Srimad Vagbhava Kutaika Swarupa Muga Pankajayai Namaha. Srimad Vagbhava Kuta. So she is the Devi of the Vagbhava Kuta. Vagbhava Kuta is up till the neck, the face of Devi, and Mukha Pankaja, the face is like that of a flower, lotus. Mukha Pankaja, the flower, the lotus flower. Yeah, and this one refers to the Vagbhava Kuta. Of this Vagbhava Kuta mantra, of this Vagbhava Kuta, which is part of the Shodashakshari mantra, the Vagbhava Kuta, Madhya Kuta, and then you have the Shakti Kuta, which is the three parts of the mantras. Of this Vagbhava Kuta, you have the Bijaksharas. The Bijaksharas are Ma, Ha and Ra. Now, what are these Bijaksharas? Bijaksharas, they say, are like electric current. This is the roots of any mantra that is called as the Bijakshara. Not just any mantra, anything that you do, you have the root that is called as the Bijakshara. Bijaksharas they say are like electric current. Now, the same current flowing through different instruments gives rise to sound, gives rise to light, gives rise to, it can be the protector, it can also be the destroyer. Electric current is a protector, electric current can also be the destroyer. Following the will of the worshipper, Bijaksharas exhibit different powers. Now, what this mantra means, this name of Devi means, because it contains the Bijaksharas of the Vagbhava Kuta, see, it means that Devi is the embodiment of that mantra. Which mantra? The Vagbhava Kuta mantra. She is the embodiment of Vagbhava Kuta mantra. Padmanabha Sahodaryai Namaha. As Bijaksharas has also got something important. So if you look at music, in music you take Carnatic music. What is that? Each raga that you have has got something called as Jivaswara. Each raga has got something called as the Jivaswara. And if you sing the raga, if the Jivaswara, if you sing it correctly, if you sing that Jivaswara correctly, will you be able to say that that this is the particular raga? If not, you cannot identify this raga. So there are several ragas, there are 3,000, 5,000, God knows how many ragas are there in this thing. But each raga has got a Jivaswara, and we need, when you are learning music, you need to understand what is the Jivaswara, what is that which identifies this raga. So when you sing, say for instance Todi, and when you sing Sindhu Bhairavi, the notes of Todi and Sindhu Bhairavi are the same. But the way you sing Todi, the way you sing Sindhu Bhairavi, that's when you'll realize that Todi is a different raga, completely different raga. So if you sing Todi the right way, and like for instance that song Varaha Roopam, in that which is that film? Kantara. In Kantara, that movie Varaha Roopam, that song is in Todi. The minute you hear that song coming out, you know that there are shades of Todi in that song. So you need to understand how to express those key aspects of every raga. So this is called as the Bijaksharas. So you'll have to be careful to remember that this is the root of the Vagbhava Kuta mantra. I offer these words at the lotus feet of Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Hamritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om Lokaha Samastaha Sugino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sugino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sugino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Karacharan Kritam Va Kayajam Karmajam Va Shravananayana Jamba Manasam Va Paradam Vidama Vidam Va Sarvamedakshmasva Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.